Hi. So you're actually watching a video of a sock talking to you, and that sock has something to say. It's literally 2 a.m. in the morning, and I feel like I'm experimenting, just having to express my opinion and getting things done. I am trying to apply all of the things I'm supposed to be doing, which is if you've got an idea, if you've got something to say, if you are quite afraid of something, just get it done, no matter how imperfect it is. I just wanted to make you feel better in posting a video of just another human being figuring things out and making sure that you realize that not everybody is being 24/7 with a full face of makeup, with their hair completely done, with their life together, posting on YouTube. Some people just get tired and they just happen to post because they have something valuable to share. To me, it is valuable, so I want to share it with you so that after this video, you can maybe feel a lot better. I just want to let you know that you're actually doing better than you think. That sometimes you are way too harsh on yourself, way too harsh with yourself. But at the very same time, I'm grateful for your desire to be the best version of yourself. It's quite a contradictory, but I feel like this is something that you need to hear. You don't need to actually feel and love yourself to start doing what is beneficial to you. Meaning that I want you to just be able to do something that is going to benefit you in the future. And if every single time you feel like you don't deserve it, or you feel like you're not achieving and you're not trying hard enough, remember that you're not a tool. You don't live for your projects, okay? These projects are a result of your creativity, they are a result of your idea. If you are religious, God is actually leading you to be putting this out there so that you can grow as a person. But you cannot judge yourself as if you were just a tool. You're not a software, okay? You're a human being with a soul, so make sure that you remember it and you're valuable. It's literally almost 3 a.m. So it's like 2:58. I feel like, you know what? If you're watching this video, just know that there is a other human being who just happened to just listen and execute in front of you what it feels like to throw away your limiting thoughts, throw away perfectionism, and getting things done. You know, it's a suck speaking to you right now, but I feel like you are still listening to whatever that suck has to say. I'm not even synchronizing. I'm getting better at synchronizing. Listen, I'm going to make sure that I do at least 10 minutes of sharing with you. What do I have valuable to share with you today? I always have a lot of my mind, but when it's time, I feel like I feel stuck. There are so many things I want to tell you. Well, maybe something about me. Do you know BTS? Well, I'm an army, and I wanted to share something. Why do I support this group? Well, you have to understand that I am literally I just turned 28, and so as you can see, I'm not a baby, I'm not a child. Listen, why am I supporting this group? They're actually reuniting. Well, they as an army, you have to understand that for people who don't know, army is the name of people who support that particular group. And something that you can remember about this video when it comes to that army section is the fact that we are not supporting this group just because they're good looking and they happen to be a boy group and we have nothing to do. I do believe that I'm just going to share my experience. I have deep respect for their hard work and also the positivity and the vulnerability that they share in their art. I personally know that I always wanted to. Well, it's been 2 years since I've been a die-hard army, for example, and everything started with a cover. My dance crew from my church had a particular request, and we had to shoot a video based on Dynamite because it was a very positive, very bright song, and the choreography was fitting in the number with the number of people that we were at that time. And I kid you not, studying that simple choreography started to set up my algorithm to get to know more about the members. And when you focus on the choreography, the lyrics, and just their discography, which is their discography is so humongous, I was so impressed with the attention they paid to details and how committed they were, and their stories and how they got to where they were is quite singular, is quite particular, especially in the context in which they've been highly criticized on their rise to fame. And on top of that, something that something that really touched me was the fact that these people just putting the efforts into something they truly believed in, even if they had high risks of failing, and they took responsibility for their dreams. And I genuinely was studying the choreography of Dynamite. First, I took on the role of RM, which is the leader, and the second time I took on the role of Jungkook because I think we performed Dynamite for maybe 3-4 times. I remember that the first time I was trying to perfect that choreography, I literally spent 6 to 7 hours straight rehearsing in the common room of my student residency. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt my body failing me. I was drenched in sweat. There was literally other students being pissed at me because I literally locked myself into their room. Yeah, it was not smart, but I did it. Something I would never do again, by the way. But I just used another space. But I was so carried away. I was so focused. And I remember that in that period of time, I was also focused on a very academic, very quite high stressed and high intensity. I was just doing what I was supposed to do on my office work. And then I also had school going on. And it was the first time in my life I just allowed myself to just be fully creative and hardworking at the same time and not feel guilty because it didn't feel like a waste of time. To you guys, it's just another girl, another sock sharing the experience. But you have to remember that I'm almost 30. I'm not a child, okay? And these men, these human beings, through their arts, their interviews, they're very active on social media, but mostly in their arts in general. They tend to express themselves quite. I kind of appreciate what they allow us to know about them, and this is very refreshing. And on that particular time of my life, I really needed that transition. It was not a permission, but it was kind of an outlook on the fact that you never truly make it. You're never really at peace. Once you actually achieve your wildest dreams, it feels heavy on you. It really does. So I started to think, I had that shift. No matter how studious and academic, how safe I want to be, being safe is smart because it actually gives you a sense of security. But at the very same time, don't forget to do what you love. In my case, it was taking up being serious again with dance was life-saving for me. I will always be thankful to God for that because it actually set me on to a path of me discovering myself again. And this is what I love through art. No matter which form of art you are making, just know that you're helping other people doing it. And to me, for example, I reconnected through my love to learn dance again, to be better at dance and doing it seriously. I know that for some people, it might seem delusional to take up a dance career after, while you're balancing a full-time job, while you're balancing another MBA, while you're balancing a proper adult life. Like, I'm carrying myself, I live on my own, I'm actually paying my bills, I do what adult, like I'm an adult and I live the fully adult life, but the full adult life, but at the very same time, I'm like, this dance thing is quite serious to me. This YouTube thing has been so rooted in my soul. Like, I just want to share my story, I just want to express what I love, and I just want to make other people feel better, or at least know that they're not going through it alone. Just the way some amazing creators or some amazing human beings just put out their hearts out there and help me get through my day as well. So just know the Talking Sock is making it. There is no script. It wasn't planned. Very spontaneous. I don't even know why I began to speak about this particular detail. There are many things. I think I'm going to make a full other video about how, for example, me being an army, me being me consuming the art of, for example, this particular group, how did that help me in my life, for example. Just to show you that there is nothing useless about your hobbies and what you enjoy, because it says a lot about you. There's a reason why something touches you. For example, I am a huge fan of dance, but particularly I am very interested in taking up contemporary dance because of one particular member, who is Jimin. Jimin is the one who actually got me to be fascinated again with performing and attention to details. I got truly obsessed with J-Hope because he is insanely talented. He's a dance leader of the group, so it's actually very coherent for him to be that good. But just to let you know, guys, that I got to be an army through the art. Yes, they are very good looking men, but just know that you cannot. I just wanted to speak to people who tend to minimize and infantilize kind of the fans of this particular group, these particular artists, because now you have to understand that they've been in the industry for many years now, and they've always done their best to work on their own projects, and individually they are respected by their own fandom, yes, but also as artists they do their thing. And what I actually learned from them was the fact that the best thing that you can do is be who you are, be yourself, share your story if you want to, strive to always do better. You're always going to have some people picking at you and hate. Like, I feel like it's always good to listen to constructive criticism, but at a certain point you also have to recognize that no matter what you do, you can never please everybody. And sometimes I feel like Flower Work, which is a song that RM worked on with a beautiful singer, who this song just reminded me of how I feel when I feel like I'm reaching a certain goal in my life. I feel like I'm getting towards the end, towards the goal of the safe path that I chose. But why do I feel so burdened by it? Because you actually have to carry on. You have to carry on. So that was to me a way of understanding that it's not what no matter what is the path that you choose to walk on, don't regret any of it, because it's something that you actually meant to do. For example, for me, I I love to learn, I love to work hard, and I I love what it feels like to actually getting a certain degree into a certain field of work, like tech, data, AI, programming. But you have to understand that I am your typical creative head. I am not so good at maths. My logics are not so logical. You have to understand that I have a particular way of thinking that is not your typical scientific kind of profile, right? But I still get myself on those paths because to me they were the safe ones, they are the respectable ones. But when you look at what I like, what I love, I'm a huge anime fan. If I had to choose all over again, I would have gone to art school, but I never allowed myself to be that art kid because to me, I always felt like pursuing art, pursuing anything that had to do with having fun, just following your hobbies. To me, that was, as a very early child, a young child, I used to think that that was the most stupid things you can ever do. But low-key, I was very jealous and very envious of people who were crazy enough to actually pursue it because they were fearless. The worst thing is you have to understand that it's not even like my own family, like my mother, for example, actually, um, she warned me, like, are you sure you want to go through med school? Are you sure you want to do that tech thing? I actually first wanted to go to medical school. I worked really hard to get the internship needed. And I kid you not, once I actually got into the hospitals and actually got all the placement I wanted, this is where I knew that I actually invested literally 8 years of preparation for a job I never wanted to do. Um, and instead of following my intuition and actually listening to myself and listening to the sound nudging of my mother, I decided to be stubborn and stay on that academic path, right? Thank God, life happened, meaning that I was able to make another choice. But instead of maybe looking down, looking inside me and really trying to study myself in the sense of, okay, what do I like? What do I want to explore? Really getting to know where I wanted to go in life. Instead of actually being honest with myself and choosing according to me and what would suit me, I decided to go in tech. I decided to study code programming, and thank God I had other modules that enabled me to actually discover that hey, I'm actually very good in anything that has to do with creativity, graphic design, marketing, communication. So that was a saving grace for me. But I still had to go through all the programming bits, right? So I did that, and I carried on to that path as if it wasn't enough. Then I went to uh, another master's degree that had nothing to do with all of the graphic design, communication, and stuff. I went in, I don't know how to translate that in English, but intelligence économique. So the subject was interesting, but the university style, like sitting down and writing a thesis at that time is not what I needed. I needed to be out there. I needed to actually create something, use that knowledge onto something. Instead, I was in front of my desk and I was hitting COVID as well. It was one of the worst years of my life. I definitely got into depression at that time. I was so lost. I felt like I was not living, I was just surviving. And I was being stubborn with myself because despite me being unhappy, I was perpetrating a mindset of the safe path is always the right path. But sometimes you have to understand that if you hate the path that you chose, even if it's safe, quote unquote safe, you will not do well. I mean, I'm not the kind of person who can do well just by forcing myself. I used to do that, but I got to a certain point where I couldn't just make that much effort when I didn't pour into myself enough. So I worked for 2 years. Yes, corporate life. Thank God I was actually in very valuable work experience, and that actually got me to realize what I wanted to specialize into. So I went back to pursue another master's degree, finishing in this year, and next year I'm going on to my last year again because I feel like I've done a lot of masters now. I think it's time to stop. But I really wanted, for me, for my own gratification, because I choose to do it. I want to learn to think in a very strategic way. I am fascinated with anything that has to do with AI and data innovation, so I'm challenging myself for that next year. I got in my first choice. I'm very happy. Now the sky is the limit. I am literally making a video at 3 a.m. in the morning, literally making a promise to myself to learn from those past years and be very proud of the fact that I lived. I made the mistakes. I got to learn who I was as a person, meaning that I still don't know what I'm doing with my life, but I am still in my 20s, so I feel like it's very okay to feel like that. And I hope I still feel that way in my 40s, my 30s, and my 40s, because it means that I am moving, I'm doing something. I'm not just sitting here. I feel like it's okay to be comfortable where you're at. There's nothing wrong with that, but you shouldn't beat yourself up when you feel uncomfortable, when you feel like you're not figuring your life yet, because it just means that you're the kind of person who needs to experiment a lot of new things. It's just the way you are. So the only thing that I would advise you on doing, which is the really sound advice that my own mother gave me, is like, since you were a child, you always observed and appreciated other people's successes, and you were really happy for them, and you were looking from afar of all the things that you love. I love beauty, I love creativity, I love art, I love tech, I love intelligent people, and I love other people bringing up positivity, encouragement to others, and I always wanted to do the same myself. So she told me that I should also give myself the permission and give myself the tools and the means to actually do it and believe in myself and do it. And another advice I also give to you guys, and I also give to myself, I'm a Christian, so I have also a very God-related rhetoric in my way of thinking, of being positive, but also being brutally honest with myself. I know that I lack of a lot of skills, but at the very same time, I am here on this planet to learn and get better. And like a plant, you want to see her grow, right? So you want to see it grow, right, healthily. So if you speak negatively to a plant, you will actually experience that plant not doing so well, right? So you as well consider yourself as the most beautiful plant and try to understand that you can only strive and do better today if you only speak not with positivism but with true actions. Speak to yourself with actions, meaning that, hey, I'm not dumb, I just don't know stuff. So if you don't know something, educate yourself. The least you can do is at least get on the internet and learn what you need to learn. We have no excuse today as a generation. Being dumb is a choice today. So let's say you want to be healthy again. Well, maybe you can get up and drink water for today. Maybe you can stretch today. If you can't exercise, at least stretch. Do what you can today. You don't have to talk yourself into the fact that, hey, you'll be healthy. Actually do something healthy. Work towards that, but don't overwork yourself. I don't want you to get on that mindset mentality of throwing yourself out to achieve a certain goal. I do believe in discipline and mindset of being focused, but I also believe in balance. Work hard, don't give yourself any excuses, but at the very same time, don't forget to also live. Appreciate little moments. Call those that you love. If you don't have any friends, it's okay. You are your own friends for now. And we have the ability today for people who don't have any friends. I can't imagine what I would do with the amazing people that I got to have in my life, but I wasn't always like that. There's been a time I actually got to live in very small cities, rural areas in France, and I literally had no friends. I remember feeling really lonely. I was far from my childhood friends. It was very hard for me. But now, living in the capital, living in Paris, having literally my friends, my sisters, my mother, my family, just I'm well rounded. Whether it is at church, even at work, I'm grateful for the people around me. But I also understand that if you don't have all of this support system, it can be hard. So my advice to you is making sure that you are your own friend. Like, make sure that you do things that you love. Go to the cinema by yourself. Go walk by yourself. Create art. I feel like during that time I created, during those 2 years, my second year got better. I actually got to meet some amazing people, but they were not necessarily my best friend either. I got along well with them, but yeah, there was still that distance I still felt. They were great friends. They were great acquaintances, friends, but not my best friend either, right? So I felt like a lot of times it's okay to use that time to create something, pour out into yourself, educate yourself, learn a new skill, and create your community online. In this day and age, now you can make sure to create a positive space for you. Don't go on and don't seek negativity. Go out there and maybe find your tribe or create your tribe. For example, me, let's say I'm an army. I love anime. My favorite anime of all time to me is Nana. I love shoujo, but I love shonen so much. My favorite anime of all time is Nana, Naruto. Um, I love K-dramas, but the ones who make you cry and think, like When Life Gives You Tangerine. I'm a huge fan of IU. I am also of African origins. I'm from Republic of Benin and Republic of Central Africa as well, originally. I speak French, as you can hear in my accent. I also lived in London. I also lived in Africa, so I have a full life. So let's say my tribe could be people who love fashion, love Asian culture, I would say, but not so much of Asian culture, I would say. It's more of I have a specific interest in animation, especially Japanese animation. I have also developed I'm a huge fan of webtoons now. Yeah, kind of subculture. I love cosplaying. Um, yeah, I love to draw, but I love tech. I love fashion. I love makeup. I love natural hair, but I love eccentric, very editorial vlogs. But I also love to dance. Um, I wanna dance classics. I wanna learn ballet. I wanna learn the skills of ballet. Have have what it takes to basically master the basics. I don't feel I know it's not impossible. I feel like it is possible if I put myself onto it, and I want to get good at contemporary dancing, and I give myself the goal to be able to cover most of Jimin's solo performances, and I'd be able to mix also some of the traditional dances in my original country, my country of origins, like some traditional Republic of Central African dances, and also Yoruba dances from Republic of Central. I can't speak, from Benin and RCA. So I want to use all my cultural heritage. I'm also French, so because I'm born in France, I also want to share with you my life in France, like how it is to basically be French and what it feels like to have that double culture, like you are from literally your ancestors. They actually you carry a whole heritage. You are a proud African, but you're also a proud French, and you also grew up in a lot of different countries, a lot of different places. You speak different languages. How does it feel like to be in someone like me? I'm sure I'm not the only one. And on top of that, I'm a Christian. So yeah, I feel like, for example, I just told you a lot about myself. You know, I'm 28. You know, I love BTS. You know all of this about me. It's a lot of information, right? But for some reason, I felt like sharing it with the internet at 3:26 in the morning, and I don't regret a bit because I feel like, hey, maybe you are part of the crew too. You might not have the same exact life as mine, but we can share some similarities. We have some points in common, and if you have some things in common, then maybe another video that will make you feel like, hey, I am actually positively impacted by your videos. Thank you. So this is what I mean by creating your tribe. Try to do something like that too. Try to create something that resembles you. I literally, shout out to you, Hyunji. Hey, I actually received a call from a friend I love so much, and she just told me, "Hey, just record." I wanted to do YouTube since I was literally, I kid you not, 14 years old. So 14, 6, ouais, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 15 years. So 15 years. Imagine what if I allowed myself to just share my journey with you guys. It could have helped you, and it could have helped me too. So now I don't want to make any excuses anymore. If I have to film a sock on the days where I just don't feel like hey, I feel like I want to be a perfectionist, but hey, what if just getting my point across is enough? I hate montage and editing. I love short editing, but I feel like I spent 15 years recording my life. I had a lot of footage of a lot of things I've done in my life, but I never get to do anything with them because I never sit down and take the time to edit them. So now I'm going to post this video as it is. It's going to be what? Literally 33 minutes. But if you get up until the end of this video, I'm really grateful. Thank you very much. If you want to see more, I'm just going to post whatever crosses my mind right now. And I don't feel like I can keep up a regular schedule, but I feel like I'm not going to give myself any excuses. If I have something on my mind, I'll take that same suck and I talk it out and I just share it with you guys. And yeah, let's try something like that. Well, have a good day, have a good night, and I really hope that you are going to take care of yourself and take care of who you love, and say something nice today. Say something kind today to yourself. Okay? See ya!